This is funny. I find this to be funny. So a Chinese company just released an AI model called DeepSeek, which is basically a direct competitor to the type of AI that runs like ChatGPT. You know, the stuff that every technology company has been trying to shove down your throat for a few years. But it's built a little different because it had to be built a little different because of choices the United States made. But because of that, it had to be built better, which has kind of fucked up the US tech economy a little bit. Like already, like this morning. So let me break it down. The conventional way that American companies build large language model AI, or LLMs, requires like warehouses full of computers, right? An economically significant amount of computing, hardware, and electricity. So as soon as American AI companies took off, the United States government was like, oh, we need to stay kings of AI. We need to protect these companies. So we're going to stop exporting computing hardware to China. That way they won't be able to build the warehouses full of computers that they need to build an LLM. So what China did is they built one without a warehouse full of computers with like way less computers, which means it is much more efficient, it is much less resource intensive, and is much less power consumptive than existing AI models. So it's much cheaper to build and maintain and develop and run, but it's also free. Because part of how they did that is they made it open source, which is where basically you make your source code, some or all of it, publicly available to the developer community at large, and then the community can request to contribute to it. And that way you sort of crowdsource the development, and you can build things much more cheaply and much more quickly and usually better. And then the trade-off is that then you release the license so that anybody in the developer community can incorporate that tech into what they're building. As opposed to American AI companies who keep their secret herbs and spices under lock and key. And if you want to stick AI in your software technology, you have to pay them like millions of dollars. So because of stuff America did to try to keep China from building an LLM at all, China built a better LLM, and it came out and fucked up the stock market. Not like that bad. Like the Dow Jones Industrial is still doing decently well. But a lot of tech companies have taken a hit, like Nvidia, Microsoft, Alphabet, which owns Google, Dell, and even electric companies, which is nuts. Like rich people are divesting from power companies because of how much less electricity will be used if we switch to this model, which I think speaks volumes to how environmentally destructive AI has been so far, and maybe a little bit hopeful for its future environmental impact. Anyways, good job, America. You tried to use 20th century trade strategy in tech, and it didn't work. Will the lesson stick